Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2014 European Challenger Series. It's time for the third and final game between Insomniac and Steve Bakes Cookies. Wonderful names. The next team to take out a Nexus will advance to the semifinals and lock in a spot in the Challenger Series playoffs.
Yeah, and Game 1 was a very back-and-forth affair. Game 2 was all Insomniac from start to finish.
Yeah.
They had more than doubled SBC's kill total, 23 to 10. I mentioned that earlier, and Insomniac last picked Lee Sin for their new top laner, Morsu, and he kicked butt with that champ. Morsu was super aggressive and ate all of Steve's cookies, and Morsu finished with the KDA of 8-1-1. And the reason they last picked that, like we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Why would you lock in your mid laner Orianna so early? It's because they wanted that Lee Sin. It also explains why Jax has been banned over and over again, because Morsu favors these top lane carry champions.
Exactly.
And Insomniac's mid laner, we talked about them locking in for BB that Orianna very early on. He had a much better game this time versus Ziggs than the first time around. So BB ran with Orianna in Game 2, and not only did he beat Belgian Beast by almost 50 CS, but he didn't respawn once, didn't die, finished the game 1-0-7.
Yeah, it's worked pretty well. I gotta point out, though, that, like, I feel like BB's, like, along for the ride in this series so far, though, right? Like, got picked on his most played champion, Syndra, right? What had a really rough game this time. Like, he's playing okay, but like he's not making the roams happen. Like he's there when Nocturne invades. Like, he's there to support the team fights. But I'm not seeing playmaking from BB. I'm seeing him there as like part of the team
Supporting role.
Yeah,
His shockwaves. He had multiple shockwaves on point.
Okay, that's fair.
With multiple people, like 3 to 4 people sucked in every time.
That's fair. That's fair. Shockwave's been amazing, but I feel like all the playmaking is coming from the jungler, right? That's coming. Lasagna, right? Making a lot of plays. Overextended probably by the mid game in Game 1. Started getting a little bit too cocky, but I think all his plays were on point this time around on his Nocturne. I think obviously we can't talk about him enough. Freaking Morsu, just soloing people out. And honestly, Riddick's, even if he gets a little bit behind early on, he's doing very well in team fights, cleaning up exactly as his role's supposed to do.
Yeah. He never seems to be afraid. He's always right up in there. Like even when I saw him a couple times focusing the back line with his range, and Steve is right up in his face, giving him a crock in his grill, and he didn't care. He had Lulu to back him up, and I'm very curious to see if they put Riddick's behind, will his positioning come back to bite him? Because he's been ahead every game.
Yeah, he's gotten cleanup kills.
Yes.
Like on either hardcore dives, multiple times at this point. Like either they set up the dive and he cleans up, or he gets dived and the other team overextends and he's getting the kills this way.
Yeah.
And just to round it out, I got to say Masterwork 4 times, all 4 games so far in the Challenger Series, playing Lulu, hasn't been dropped away from him once. Happy to keep playing that champion, and he's putting up great performances as well.
Yeah, I'd be very interested if they do continue in this tournament and take this game. If that gets banned away from him, what are his other picks and how good is he on those? Because Lulu's a highly contested mid laner, but not in this matchup.
True.
There's higher priority on things like Ziggs for Belgian Beast. So I don't think he would pick Lulu away. And once again, Insomniac is back on blue side, so they get first pick.
Yeah. And I wonder, there's a lot that goes on here. So, I mean, we look at sort of what happened with the picks and bans last time, and I got a whole bunch of it wrong. I was like, why would you ban Draven? You play it yourselves.
So.
Yeah, well, but also realize that SBC banned Vi against themselves.
Yes.
They were the team that banned Vi, who played it last time. So, I'm curious what happens here with contested picks, with the bans going through. Clearly, Vi for both sides, Draven for both sides, very important. Clearly, Syndra not a big priority here, so we can leave that one by the wayside.
Jax has been banned every game.
Yeah, Pantheon as well.
Yes. Aimed at Carbonite. And, oh, whoa!
Of course, of course. So SBC either says, you know what, yeah, Steve says, look, I just made like one bad mistake, I'll beat him next time, don't worry. Or says, you know, yeah, I kind of need a Lee Sin ban. We'll see which way it goes.
Yeah, they are red. So if there's a Draven ban, it will come from them. It was first picked last time in the first game by Insomniac. More than willing to pick up that Draven.
So the first game around SBC banned Kha'Zix, I believe. No, Kha'Zix was banned by Insomniac. SBC took Vi. Then SBC banned Vi, took Kha'Zix. SBC is back to banning Kha'Zix. The first time they've done this so far. The Vi is banned by Insomniac, so now we definitely need a new jungler here for Carbonite.
You have to ban Kassadin here, or Draven.
You give... I mean, even the Jinx was good enough, though. I feel like Draven's not that important anymore.
But they will first pick it, and Riddick's is really good on it, even when they lost.
Of course he is.
They're taking their sweet time with this, and it is going to be a Cassidy.
That'd be my guess. It's the safer pick here. So while Somniac, they could first pick the Draven, although...
Well, if they don't, it's Petrokos.
Sure. So it is first pick Draven. Of course, Riddick's had a very, very good performance on this champion. They need someone else to back him up because he was the only member performing well on his team in that game. He needs backup here.
Something like 11, 3, and 8, and they lost?
Yep.
So if he gets a little bit stronger, or if his team picks better laners, then it might work out for Somniac. But if they go back to their old strategy, oh, that's a fantastic pick. All right. So they will accomplish two things here.
Yeah.
By picking up the Lee Sin. They'll take it away from Morsu, who was decimating them last game. And also, I mentioned it previously that Carbonite was a Lee Sin main in Season 2, and it's still, those mechanics just don't go away. You practice that every now and then.
Yeah.
But that was his baby. And now he's got it back.
All right, so new jungler for Carbonite, Lee Sin. And, the Lee Sin steal? It is.
The Lulu and Lee Sin steal. So Steve's Baked Cookies are diving, putting their hand deep in that jar for these picks.
All right, going to go for this one. Now, Thresh, honestly, the most played in solo queue for Masterwork. So he's going to know the champion, of course, wants Lulu in competitive. I think it's worthwhile, but the Thresh, not a bad pick for him. And the funny thing is here, by picking Thresh, it actually does get a little bit in the way of Yero's champion pool. Yero did play Thresh the first time around. As far as jungler goes, I mean, Nocturne still works. I actually kind of like Nocturne Thresh. You just kind of get a lot of playmaking there. You can Lantern him into the fight, a whole bunch of fun stuff around. BB could blind pick the... Of course, he knows the matchup, right? He knows he's fighting a Lulu. I like Syndra against Lulu. This is a fine matchup for BB. And Lee Sin, not nearly the same diver as Vi was in Game 1. I like all this.
And the Janna pickup, so good with the Draven.
Yeah, we don't... I switched to Orianna. All right, got to go back on all of it. So Thresh wasn't gone through. Shouldn't have even talked about things that weren't locked in. I love Janna Draven. Bonus AD, scales off his Q. He has been pretty strong lane. And think about it, Janna's passive changed at the beginning of the 2014 season. It's 5% local move speed instead of 3% global. So even still has a haste for Draven. Let him run people down. Orianna's still the utility pickup. They're realizing that that's working for BB, right? He's getting a lot of pressure in the lane. Go for the big shockwaves, do that.
Yeah, Masterwork, his style seems to be the defensive supports, as opposed to the initiate playmaker supports that we're so used to seeing now in Season 4.
True.
And
I like seeing that.
You like seeing that?
I like seeing the different styles.
Yeah, exactly. Because it just adds up to more variety, and when it becomes something that people fear, and you can synergize with an ADC that can actually take an advantage. Because normally people are picking these initiators because it's like, all right, team, you've got to follow me now. Whereas the supports are kind of like, I'm going to sit in the back and shield you and make these great plays. And Belgian Beast is going to return to his Ziggs all 3 games.
Okay.
And then Matroko back to the Lucian once again. All 3 games as well.
This is interesting because Yero hasn't played much Lulu in a long time. Yeah. He's not even like in his top 7 most played in solo queue. He's like, yeah, well, I mean, all the supports know Lulu. Beginning of Season 3, she was a really big deal. Season 2, I believe, she was out by then as well. So, all right, going to go back to the Lulu. Hopefully he knows how to play the champion very well. But it's going to be the Lulu Thresh bottom lane. The other thought is actually, I mean, some people do top lane Lulu. We've seen it. There's the chance. I've already been wrong on picks before, so I might as well open up more doors. We'll see.
It's quite possible.
Unlikely.
But possible.
So Nocturne going to come back. Top laner Aurelia going to come through. So Morsu on another carry-esque top laner. Aurelia has really come back into the scene. Seen her a couple times now, especially in Europe, especially from Wicked. And he's going to have to blind pick his top lane matchup. Aurelia versus something.
I love the way that Somniac has gone through their picks. It's kind of Season 2, Season 3-esque. The Nocturne, you have the Orianna for such great wave clear and team fighting.
Yeah.
And then you have the lane bully with the support, who's going to shield you. And the top laner, Aurelia. Like, he loves Aurelia, Jax, Lee Sin, all those champions that just bully top lane. He's not a passive player.
No.
And is really playing to his strengths here. And Steve, he's hovering over the Croc once again. And we're going to have a 3-peat performance here from multiple members of Steve Bakes Cookies. We're going to have Belgian Beast back on Ziggs.
Yep.
Matroko back on Lucian for the 3rd time. And he's going to switch it to Zac. Okay. That is Steve's favorite champion in the entire game. I read his bio, and his bio just says, I love Zac. That's
all
it.
it says.
That's all it says. So he's going to go Zac up against Aurelia here. A little bit more sustain, but still that tanky late gamer where Aurelia, just a lot of damage late on.
I like that they grabbed Zac, actually, because this team was lacking engage. Lee Sin is not a reliable engagement tool for your team. And if looking at sort of game one from SBC, they won because they could pick fights and pick people off. Getting Zac with Slingshot in there, I think that's really smart. I think it's going to put a little bit of fear into Insomniac, who have the wave clear from Orianna to say, well, you have to dive us to do anything because you can't play Siege.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So the engagement tools that they have coming out here, a lot of wombo combo.
Yeah.
Once again, the Lulu taken away, putting Masterwork on something he's not familiar with. Lee Sin taking that away and putting him on his third pick Aurelia here, which is still very, very threatening. And Steve, he looked like he was going to go after the Crocodile, swaps it over to the Zac. We're going to have to see, because that's his most played.
Yeah, true.
That's his baby, and that's Carbonite's going back to his season 2. So this team, you could do basically a
back on some comfort picks.
You could do a triple knockup with Zac.
Yeah.
Slingshot in, let's bounce, and then Lulu ulti on top of you.
You're not going anywhere.
No.
You're not really going anywhere. He's going to be able to chase people down. And honestly, a Draven is already so low, peel for himself. If Zac gets on you, he'll probably stay on you. So there's actually a lot here onto Masterworks Janna to keep that man alive. Masterworks starting with coin again here. Wards and potions. Mana potion as well, actually. Lasagna back on Nocturne. Last game, he went Lizard Elder into Lockout of the Iron Solari. I feel like I'd see the same build again as well here in this game. And here we are, Game 3 of the quarterfinals. Loser, almost guaranteed to not make it to the LCS promo tournament. Winner has a good shot.
Winner has a very good shot, considering the points in the Season 2, second part of it, are worth a little bit more. So Carbonite off on the side here. They ping him, so they have some idea. But anyway, the early game Lee Sin, very potent, especially against somebody like Nocturne. You can bully him around a bit. Very attack speed based. We'll have to see just line of scrimmage coming out here for both of these teams.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
The cookies are in the oven. It's preheating right now. Warming up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, we're in the European LCS, so 220-ish Celsius is my rough guess. Don't do the math. It's not worth it. We're going to get corrected on Twitter. Don't worry. Let's focus on the game for now. Minute 20 in. What's your guess?
I'm not going to guess.
All right, that's
it'll
fine.
Just make a fool of me because
yes.
Imperial system. Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. We are Americans, guys. I apologize if we pronounce your screen names improperly. We've been corrected many times by many of the players here.
We don't do things in tens.
No.
No
it's
centimeters
randomly
up in
16,
here.
12 inches in a foot. Why not?
12 inches a foot, 3 in a yard. How many?
5160, 5120 feet in a mile.
Which makes no sense.
Nope, it's fine though. Here we go. Into the game we go. Minute 55. Jungle mobs are spawning. Shield for Lasagna. So it's going to be BB starting things out with Command Protect, keeping himself alive in the lane. Very auto-attack focused. Didn't shield that bomb. Already off to a bad start. Carbonite blue buff Lee Sin starts ENQ as is standard. See how Lee Sin transitions in this game.
The Command Protect is really good, keeps you in lane. Go ahead and use Clockwork Wind Up, get some auto attacks in, but against the Ziggs, who also has an auto attack passive, you'll be lucky if you trade even.
See if he can keep it going. Then 4-6 so far in the bottom lane. Riddix again on Draven, going for a bit of a fight right here. Gets a shield a bit late and doesn't get almost any attacks off with it. Not exactly what he wanted here. Doesn't quite go for Matroko.
Draven's just been such a dominant force throughout the European Challenger Series.
Yeah.
Just the lane pressure that he causes. We've seen him lose once, but he was still positive, which says a lot about that champion and the way he's being played.
And Riddix as a player, done well both games so far. There we go, jumps in a little bit from Matroko, turns back. I like that he's actually just kind of trading with only one attack and backs out, maximizing what he's going to get out of the Janna shield. Gets the attack, and doesn't take any damage in return.
He also doesn't drop any stacks or go too deep for them.
No, he plays incredibly. It's just fun to watch this guy.
He's just going to keep getting shields and trading, which is the beauty of Janna. And they're going in again.
And he keeps going in random directions, too. He would dodge Glitter Lance almost every time they'd go at him. I don't think he's even been hit by one yet.
bait coming out here from Carbonite. He sees this on Lasagna. They both have double buffs.
Oh, this is good if he can get this trade going. And Smite goes to Carbonite, so a small lead there. Lasagna should have his W. Dodges the Q coming out there. The trade comes in. Carbonite jumps to a ward to break the fear tether. And here comes the Orianna. Carbonite not in the best spot. Flashes over. Can he W to his teammate? Yes, he can. Good rotation by Belgian Beast, but overextension a little bit by Carbonite.
So he gets a wolf for his flash.
Not worth? You're the jungle, you tell me.
No, it's not worth. It's
Okay.
definitely not worth it.
You know, he lost his smite too.
It'll be up in 40 seconds. It's not a 300-second cooldown.
True.
I would say it's not worth. It's definitely not worth. I don't even have to think about that one. No Imperial system involved in that map.
We all use seconds, thankfully. That would be way worse if we didn't.
I'm on metric time.
Metric time would be good. All right, Riddick still just happy to kill away the minions. 30 CS to at most 24 here from Atroko. I gotta say, this lane working incredibly well for Insomniac. 8 minion kill lead early on, also burning through the health potions. Not to mention the fact that Masterwork also got a GP10 to start. So many good openers here for Insomniac.
And
I like their duo lane.
I feel like I should explain this a little more. When you have such an aggressive AD carry, you can put a lot on his shoulders and allow him to do all of the damage and back him up with this defensive support as opposed to an initiator support. But then you need your initiate from your jungler top laner, which is very Season 2, Season 3-esque. So that's why they have the Zac, that's why they have the Lee Sin, and that's why they also have the Nocturne on the side of Insomniac. So you kind of have to round your composition around that and have your AD carry in mind if you're going to pick that defensive bot lane.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, we haven't seen a ton of initiator junglers. They tend to be the fighters, the Lee Sins, the Elises. Guys who battle well but don't always start the fights. But Nocturne with Orianna definitely going to be here. Lasagna.
They see Carbonite.
Wings. Carbonite misses the ward. He's going to find Lasagna in the face. No flash. This is not good for Carbonite. Damage coming down to 300 HP. The tornado not quite going to land. The flash low. The ignite buy as well. The flash in from Lasagna. First blood goes to Janna. Yes, please. And Morsu triggered the passive here of his opponent. Doing a little bit of damage there. Can he pick up the kill onto Steve? 100 health left. Flash. One more hit to kill. Gets the kill. Morsu 1v1 against Steve. History repeating itself.
Morsu's such an aggressive laner. The Doran's Blade again. Every game he has started with the Doran's Blade over the Doran's Shield. And this is 4.2. So Doran's Shield is still incredibly strong. But he's just pressing that advantage and auto-attacking over and over again. Every opportunity, every window that he gets. And down bottom, there were some well-placed wards all around that area. That tri-bush, they saw Carbonite. They knew he was going to come over. Lasagna sits in the bush, waits for the ward and the face check from Carbonite. Perfect kill pickup there and collapse by Insomniac. And they knew he didn't have flash from previously.
Yeah.
So the Wolf, definitely not worth it.
Definitely not worth. Kill worth more than Wolf. Riddick's a little aggressive. The Q's going to land. They go in. The flash coming back. Can he get away from this? Jumps to a ward. Nice play by Carbonite. The shield, the barrier is there. Do they have enough? The Q, it's Janna trying to block it. Can she do so? Nah, Carbonite picked up the kill. Q goes in. Smartly doesn't chase it, but good kill.
It was a good attempt by Riddick's. He used the stand aside to try and interrupt the Lee Sin Q, but he hadn't used it yet. Carbonite held on to it. And that's what ended up making that fight fall into the hands of Steve Bake's Cookies. And now they're going to get a dragon off of that because they know there's no bottom laner. And Nocturne, Lasagna, nowhere in the area.
Good stuff coming through. Pink ward in the brush. The flash in from BB. Shockwave does not hit onto anyone. This is not exactly what these guys wanted here. Smite going to come through. Dragon picked up. And the Lulu goes down, though, to be fair. 1-for-1 trade now as Ori falls. But the Dragon to Steve Bake's Cookies makes it a 200 gold game.
That was a beautiful expansion there by all of Steve Bake's Cookies to avoid the Shockwave.
Yeah.
That would have been devastating if they had all got sucked in. Lulu would have been taken off a lot quicker, and then all of them would have been about half HP because you would have gotten the dissonance follow-up. So Dragon goes over to SBC, even in gold now, because that kill up top and because of the assists across the board and the CS lead in favor of Draven. But he lost his stacks because he died.
Did lose his stacks. So he lost half of them. So the cash going to be smaller here. Ziggs recalling back, gets himself some biscuits, some wards. The Chalice and boots and everything else. Blue buffs respawning now. Looks like BB on Orianna for Insomniac. An uncontested blue is going to take this one for himself. Get his lane going to a decent spot in the mid game here. Lasagna not rushing the damage. Make sure it goes over. All right. See what's talked about the mid laners. These guys are trading very equally, though, to be fair. We'll see if anything's going to happen to them later on. Riddick's with the BF sword. Same for Matroko. Still a 20 minion kill lead, though.
Yeah, despite the lead, no extra items in the inventory or combat stats.
Well, the assist helps.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it does. I don't know if it's worth 15 CS, though.
No. Almost definitely not.
Not even close. So blue is up. They're pinging it. Lasagna's making a move for it. BB as well. And here comes Belgian.
Ooh, this actually wouldn't have seen him. Lasagna didn't have to go. The ward would.
There you go. He's actually going to go all the way around. He's trying to get in there. Zone off Yarrow.
Good wards, and I like the pink ward that's down as well. This is, once again, I've seen pink wards come down from SBC to make sure that there's not a lot of vision on this golem, or there's no like gank route coming in, and it guarantees themselves a little bit more security as they go for this one. Lizard Elder, I gotta say, already done for Carbonite, who's got 2 kills. All of his team's kills, actually, on Carbonite. Cashes in with Lizard Elder.
And they've all been in the bottom lane, too.
Yeah.
No, bottom mid, because there was that dragon and they ended
The dragon
up
attempt they converted, yeah.
Lulu has 2 assists as well. So Yarrow has been a part of these fights. Nomad, Medallion. No Sightstone for him.
He's got so much less money. I mean, Masterwork started with an ancient coin, and it paid off. He hasn't died. So he's got extra money. 2-2-GP10 Sightstone done. The door and shield opener for Yarrow didn't help them win the lane enough. No, they might have needed it, to be fair. It could have been worse.
Ooh,
Fighting
Lasagna
Draven.
has the paranoia available.
Go in. Side, not quite going to land. They go for Yarrow. He does have flash and ult. He does not break the fear tether. They'll fight in the top lane now. Steve going to get jumped in towards Morsu. Can he get out? Tries to get to a minion. Try to get away still. Does not have flash. Kick in the back of the head. Carbonite picks that one up. Of course, the fight doesn't work in the bottom lane either. So well done. Good gank by Carbonite.
So they evened it out. Steve bakes cookies and Asamiak now even in gold. And up top, he's going to get some turret damage on this because the jungler is in the bottom. Cannot reinforce.
They can kill the turret.
Yep.
Down to half with a big enough wave there. The SBC turned that one around despite the Aurelia kill early on. Just required some teamwork. They've got this one.
Down bottom, they're trying to answer. No jungler to reinforce. Carbonite in the top lane doing some work. And every game with Troko, he's pretty much gone even on Lucian, but a little down.
Yeah.
He's been behind always. He hasn't been carrying his team like he was the previous rounds. So has Lucian not been blown away by?
True.
But I am impressed that he goes even with such an aggressive laner.
They're going towards the bottom lane, gonna keep this duo lane safe. Hex onto Riddick. He's gonna be safe though. 2 pink wards down towards the lower river from Steve Bakes Cookies. They're keeping the vision control pretty well for themselves. Bloodthirster is going to be done soon for the 80 carries. Lasagna walks by a ward as he looks to invade. There he goes. He spots it. Yeah.
Good check there. Too many people don't check it. And that's even in professional play.
Oh, yeah.
We see it all the time where people just walk by it. They know Carbonite's here. They saw him previously with a ward that was placed. And they keep pushing up. And if you push hard enough, it actually keeps you in a safer place if you can ward that bush. So because of the early sight node from Masterwork and the fact he started with the coin, he's able to get those wards down and keep Riddick safe so he can push this CS advantage.
Let's see where we go with this one. So far, a lull in the action. 1:15 till Dragon comes up. Constant lane pushing. Finally, Asamiak get all the way in. They take the turret down. And that's going to be a nice advantage for them, putting the gold back to equal. 17.7 on both sides. Riddick's likely to be sitting on a very big stack of Adoration to cash in the near future.
Yeah, Carbonite was sitting on the right side of the river. They waited for BB to back, then he comes out, reveals himself, and just punches the turret a bunch of times. He's at half HP now in the mid lane. And Aurelia, Morsu's actually just going to keep farming wolves instead of extending. Too afraid of these ganks. Doesn't have wards to cover his vision.
They've completely lost work coverage. You're right about that one. So Morsu not having quite the same game he did last time. Looking a little bit more like game 1, though not as bad. See if he can make a lot of cool things go down here. Looks like the Lee Sin for Carbonite is maxing his E sometime pretty early. Yarrow, 3 points in shield, 2 in Glitter Lance. BB maxing Q than W. We do see different builds from Orianna. So looking for the lower cooldown on the command attack for this one. That's fine. Oh, the knock-in on the BB. This could be enough. Nope, not going to go for it.
Carbonite off on the left side here has not been spotted out. Steve is there as well. Elastic Slingshot coming in.
Goes in. BB going to have to flash the knock-up. Q going to land. Flash. Kick him back into the team. BB not going to be in a good spot. Shockwave goes down. Doesn't matter, though. Kills picked up.
And now Carbonite's onto Riddick's.
They'll be okay.
So they get the flash with the Elastic Slingshot. Good ward jump there. And the kick backwards after the flash, the resonating strike, follow up by Carbonite. Jungler still on the field, still possible to steal.
He's going to try. Smite's going to not go the way of Lasagna. Draven only comes by a little overextended. SBC picking up another kill and the Dragon themselves.
It's another up to about a 1.5k gold lead for themselves, give or take. And now they're going to start pushing against this weaker team that Insomniac has. And I'm looking at their composition. Late game Aurelia, late game Orianna. Janna's
good late.
Janna's really good late for disengage, especially against somebody like Zac. You see him coming in from a mile away, just blow him back.
Yep. Lee Sin too.
It's going to be a skill matchup here for Masterwork in the late game.
Yes.
So if Insomniac can hold on, they'll be good. They'll be able to go toe-to-toe. And if they can get some cash in from Riddick's and his passive and start snowballing like they did the first game, we'll have to see.
Well, it's worth pointing out, with a 2,000 gold lead, pretty much all of that lead is on Carbonite. The entirety of that gold lead is on the jungle Lee Sin. The steal worked out so far, right? Stole it away from Morsu, put it on Carbonite. Carbonite's done well, 3-1 and 2 here. But right now, the only reason SBC are winning is if Lee Sin is in those battles himself.
Well, he's been in every battle.
He has.
100% kill participation for him. He's been involved in the Dragon, making moves across the map, which is reminiscent of... Oh. I'm glad he didn't put another one down.
It's not worth it.
And just to try, he's like, I got the vision I need, that's fine. But the Lee Sin getting all of these assists and kills early is crucial to that champion, because he falls off in the late game unless you build him very tanky or you shut the enemy team down early like we saw last game in the top.
Okay. Let's see what we got ourselves going on here. Minions getting swept away. Red buff going fairly early on. 15 minutes is a bit early for red buff to an AD carry, but it's going to be going on to Riddick's here. 0, 1, and 0 on Draven. Mid lane push. This turret's getting a little bit lower. These ones do not regenerate. The inhibitor turrets are farther in.
They don't get it.
Ward goes down.
Good ward by
flank. Yeah, absolutely. Very smart choice. Ruin King done here on Aurelia. I don't know if the siege is going to keep working, but certainly SBC are trying.
Steve has his passive available, so he can dive when he wants to and then get that extra life. But we'll have to see. They're going to try to push a 2k gold advantage here in a 5v5 mid lane. Top is being pushed by a huge minion wave. It's going to pull Aurelia's attention and Morsu off to that side. And the question is, what is SBC going to do to answer it? They're going to go clear bottom wave.
All right, they're going to go for that one here. See what these guys can do. 1,500 gold difference right now. Lizard, Elder, and a Brutalizer here for Carbonite. That looks oddly similar to his builds we've seen overall so far for this player. Likes building the damage. That's fine. It's worked out for him in general.
Very well.
Yeah.
His impact in the game has been huge. BB lands it. Doesn't have flash, so he couldn't really pull off that tricky play. And he didn't have a ward available after that first one.
Yeah.
No Sightstone.
No. Flash still down for 80 seconds. So keep you updated. Carbonite, 5 points Q, 2 in W, 2 in E. So splitting points on the extra slow, and the extra shield and lifesteal, but did max Q overall. Keep
Which
that
is
in
different.
mind. Once, yeah.
What we had seen from Morsu.
We didn't see 5 points in Q till level 18. I only saw the 4 at 17. I don't know what it went from the beginning, but for what it's worth, that's what's going on. Carbonite, of course, 2 in his ultimate. So, what kind of cookies do you think Steve bakes? All kinds?
Jelly.
Jelly cookies.
Jelly cookies. He's got jelly cookies. I'm going to go with that one because he loves Zac. I don't even know if jelly cookies are a real thing.
I don't either.
But that'd be, you know what, you bake the cookies, then you put jelly like on them afterwards.
That would have been my guess.
Like a jelly biscuit or something.
Yeah, well, BB dropped dangerously low, forced to run away from this one, but Riddick comes in from the side. There comes Carbonite, kicks him back into the team. 3-man hit right there. The bomb's hitting as well. Masterwork barely survives BB as well. That's going to mean they give up the turret.
That turret cannot withstand this siege. Steve is actually tanking it up, and nobody's doing damage to it.
It's a little excessive.
Lucian's not there. Matroko went to go farm Wraiths. They're going to get it. I don't even know if Steve was actually in range to get the bonus gold.
I'm not sure.
I didn't see the number actually pop up on him, so it's
I meant
possible.
to like keep checking. Like whenever I'm in game, I'll like test it and be like, can I stand here? Can I stand there? If you're in the bottom lane and you go across the trees, if you're over that little like ridge of trees, you don't get in range.
Okay.
So it's fairly short.
Yeah. Is it shorter than tower range?
No, it's longer than tower range.
It's longer
I'm
than
pretty
tower.
sure it's longer than tower
So if
attack
you're
range.
being hit by the turret, you will get gold.
I would assume so. That'd be weird if it didn't. I should just like look up the number and just tell you guys once and for all. We keep talking about this in the casts.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, that's something. Write that down.
It's not like we don't work at Riot and couldn't be like, hey designers, what's the number by the way? And they'd be like, oh, it's 700. Like, oh, thanks. And it would be that simple. We're just really good at our jobs. SBC back to the mid lane here. They've all healed up. Steve's nice and happy. Sunfire Cape. Randuin's done soon. Gotta put out Insomniac very low in magic damage with this team composition. Armor, the likely stat here for these guys. And then gonna get counter pushed though. Bomb's gonna come across though. Morsu a little bit low.
The Q landed.
Down. Not into that many people. Lucian and Lulu were far away. You can't go for that.
I'm glad there's communication. Otherwise, it would have just been straight in and oh, what have I done?
I mean, if you land the Q, you gotta follow it. If that Lee Sin works.
It's an automatic follow-up. By the time it times out, you do follow it. It's automatic, right?
Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. That'd be a weird minigame. Like,
Well,
can you get out of range in time?
It would kind of be like a Zenith Blade.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, here we go. Damage coming across there. The Shockwave not going to land on a bunch. He outranges it. DB whips the Shockwave. Steve in the front line. Little ulti coming by as well. Not good for Insomniac. The late Janna ulti not going to do much as well. Yarrow getting chased down by Morsu though. Ooh, they heal on himself. Riddix catches an 892 from League of Draven. And now on the run. Steve, yeah, oh, he dodges it. Okay. Riddix going to try. Damage onto Carbonite. Goes down. Steve picks it up with Ignite. 2-for-1 battle. But Draven cashed in his stacks.
That was such a huge League of Draven.
Gold positive for Insomniac until this Draven goes down.
Wow.
Or Dragon goes down.
That was 892
on top of the 300 for the gold.
Yeah.
Kill.
Basically, that was a very expensive, almost quadra-kill worth of a Lulu, of a support.
Yep.
Wow.
No assist, though, for League of Draven, to be fair. And why would you? There are no assists in the League of Draven, there's just Draven.
No. Only kills. So Dragon goes over to SBC. Gold lead again for them.
2,000.
And that Shockwave from BB. Just being outranged by the Nocturne Paranoia of Lasagna.
Yeah.
Just snapped back to him and he used it on no one. It would have been so discombobulating too, when you get Nocturne ultied and then Orianna ultied, and you're all on top of each other, you have no idea where the enemies are or who you should be prioritizing, because they might be out of your vision. It's pretty big.
The fight just did not work out for Insomniac. So, Game 3 of the quarterfinals. Loser gonna lose their LCS hopes. Winner likely to make their way to the playoffs, to the postseason. See what they can do. 2,000 gold. As we see, they won Game 1. It took them a while. Back and forth battle, but they made it happen. Insomniac crushed Game 2, largely due to Morsu's top lane Lee Sin. This game, Morsu, a bit of a slower start, but I just gotta say, the minion lead has exploded in so many of these matchups. 183 to 138 top lane, and 200 to 166 there for the AD carries. Big matchups there for Insomniac.
Yeah, and it's an Aurelia and a Draven. They both flourish with CS leads here, especially over somebody like Zac and Lucian.
Yeah?
Who pretty much do the same thing, except
they're unremarkable when behind, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is they don't have a huge impact, or even a high impact in a team fight. You just rely on Steve to jump in there and do some crowd control. But then there's this Aurelia who almost has Trinity Force completed on top of his Blade of the Rune King. Then he'll start building tanky. Yeah, after that.
And I actually wonder what you have to build tanky here, because you've got Ziggs doing well, Zac doing well, who's doing reasonably well. He's 2-1-3, so he's got some extra gold from the team fights. But also a Lucian who's 2-0-2, and a Lee Sin who's building damage. So you've got physical and magic damage coming in. Pretty harsh from the entire enemy team.
Yeah. Randuin's Banshees.
You got to try to get them both. Good luck.
Yeah.
Locket of Iron Solari done here for Lasagna. Doesn't even have boots yet. And gets the 20 CDR and the items available here. So some MR Aura for the team. That'll be nice.
Relies on his Duskbringer for the extra movement speed.
Pretty much. And his ulti.
Yeah.
Makes you go pretty fast. You know what? Riddix just let 2 gold go to waste. He didn't catch his act before recalling.
That's only if he cashes in, though.
Yeah. If he dies once, it's worth 1 gold.
Yep.
Basically, because he was after stacks. See where it goes.
That passive has been keeping them in the game in Game 1 and in Game 3 here.
Their gold lead would be doubled if not for it.
Yes.
That's great.
And in the first game, It was just
it was the all their goal.
Terrible.
Draven.
Oh,
Man.
oh, Lasagna face checking Carbonite. He's all damage.
This is not necessarily ideal. Puts a spell shield on, doesn't get followed up. There's the fear, and here comes Insomniac. Can he land the Q? Yes. Oh, into the stand aside. Shockwave's not going to hit. Good dodge away by Carbonite, but Lasagna in the front line, kicked into a wall. Going to be cashed in by Draven. 182 is the League of Draven stacks in that one, so would have been 184. Told you.
Yep. Just being kicked into a wall was the least of his worries.
Worked out okay. We got turrets going down. Turrets, what? Minions going down.
Minions, turrets. If you were Cutie Pie, they would have been. They would have been turrets in your eyes.
Riddick's though heavily aggressive in the front line. Steve right there on the side. 321 crit on a frontliner, on a tank with 2 big armor health items. 321 the crit. Use the shield there. Glitterlance not going to land on much here. SBC do have amazing wave clear. It is going to be hard for Insomniac to push.
Belgian Beast hasn't died this game. Been involved in a lot of kills and a lot of wave clear. And just relieving of pressure has been his job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because he usually, in game 1, he was very high impact. Game 2, kind of kept under the radar until later, where he was the only person really doing well.
Yeah.
And then he just started throwing out all of these ultimates that would just delay the game a tiny bit, but it was over in 30 minutes.
Yes.
BB, getting low to white.
It's okay. Worked out.
It's close.
So I want to keep tabs on things. So I looked at a bunch of skill orders. Carbonite is, after 2 points in W, is maxing E second. More Soothe is standard for Aurelius, but they max W, He-10 style, then E, the Equilibrium Strike, the Q Blade Surge at 1. Riddick's on Draven. Every Draven maxes Q, that's fine, but he is going for Blood Rush second. I've seen stand aside second. Not the case. Blood Rush here for him. Masterwork maxes Shield, then he's going for the Zephyr, leaving his Tornado Q at level 1. And those are the ones that I saw. So I wanted to just point those out for you guys.
And Lasagna maxed his W second, which gives him attack speed just by leveling it up.
5% per rank and a lower cooldown on Spell Shield.
Which is all he's worried about.
Yep.
Just worried about not getting...
blocking the damages.
Yeah,
and to be fair, attack speed's good when you've got a Elder Lizard and Dustbringer on.
Oh yeah.
It's a big DPS increase.
Also, every time you attack somebody, it lowers the cooldown on your passive.
True.
The Umber Blades.
Yes, it does. And not to mention one more time, your attack speed buff for the W doubles when you block a Spell Shield. So you actually have significant attack speed gains by maxing W. Because you get it doubled more, and the doubling is worth more itself.
Double.
It's like it's quadrupled its attack speed.
What? You're blowing my brain, freak.
Math.
Stop.
In Celsius, it would only be tripled, though.
Only be tripled.
Only. It's much weaker in Europe. Doesn't even make any sense. Doesn't matter. Here we go. The guy's trying to sweep wards back and forth. They kill the ward and put a new one down. Of course they would. Why not? Shield on a Lasagna. Is he looking for the fight there? The whole team is around. Puts the Dustbringer down. Carbonite
SBC
pushing
going
down
in.
aggressively. They're going to look for the jump onto Riddick. He's going to survive, though. Nocturne only comes in. Will they get the shockwave that they need or the one that they deserve? Morsu comes in. Carbonite goes down. Belgian Beast in the backlines. He drops as well. Morsu going big. 2-man shockwave on the backline. Steve about to get put into little bloblets. Oh, he survives just barely. 2 for 0, though. Great fight for Insomniac.
He's so tiny.
He's so tiny. Oh, no. Run, Zach.
And he's going back. He has
going
to
back to
right
base.
now. Dragon is up right now, but they are going to completely ignore that, go straight for this turret, because it won't respawn. Dragon will, and it gives them more map pressure. And down bottom, too, there's another turret that's ripe for the taking. If they rotate there in time, it'll just be another one straight into their pockets. Lasagna has the attack speed.
Yep.
Great at taking turrets if you push points into your W as opposed to your E.
They're a little pensive. They don't. The thing is, no one's around just yet, but they have no wards to prove it. So it's only Riddick's and BB doing the damage. The rest of the team backs off, plays a bit more safe. The white is up. The blue buff getting stolen right now. I like that choice. He's going to go to BB if he can last hit it. Ah, nope. Riddick's, as the Draven should, steals that away. But now it's the Dragon. Insomniac picking up 2 turrets, blue buff, and Dragon off that fight if they can get away safely.
So they...
Good tornado.
Woo!
All 5.
So if you were Insomniac, you just got a bunch of kills, put them at low HP to force them back, then you push that advantage. They didn't go straight for the Dragon. They got it on the retreat. They got mid turret, bottom turret, blue buff, and Dragon. So much control off of that one fight.
Yeah.
Exploding to a 3K gold lead right now. And now they come back with... Look at that. Look at the Aurelia. He's got both, before he even starts building some HP, he's got both
no
defensive
randoms,
stats.
though.
Yes. No Randuins. So it looks like it might be GA Banshee's Veil.
That's my guess.
I usually see GAs on a bunch of Aurelius.
Yeah. I don't like late Sunfire. That's the only other big chain vest item you'd go for. I don't think Frozen Heart's likely. So yeah, we'll see where he goes with this one. Morsu, though, of course, an amazing player.
But I like the fact he built both resistances before building HP.
Yeah.
Because this team has so much mix.
He's already got a decent amount of HP from Lifesteal One anyway. Lasagna running backwards. He's going to be all right. Pops the spell. She doesn't get much with it, though. Fear onto Carbonite. Morsu going over the front line, dealing the slow onto Yero, chasing him down by himself. Goodbye. Riddick's up with that one. The jump in from Morsu did, I believe, got a Q reset. Yep, jumps back down to the minions. That's really good play by Morsu.
Just zoning them off, and then we had Riddick's coming in from the side. Didn't get the kill, so he didn't get the extra gold from the stacks. Just clearing out the jungle, and now Steve Bakes Cookies, they previously had a lead, gave it up after one fight. Now Somniac took so much for it.
Masterwork, you don't want to be there. Nice ulti, they're going to knock them back, and he heals up enough to stay alive. Matroko flashing over the wall, or dashing, I should say, being alive. Carbonite and Steve, Shockwave missing again. Not BB's game here. But they get the damage across, making him leave back to the base. Somniac still in good shape, 4,000 gold in the lead.
So much pressure too, even with the catch on and Masterwork, the defensive support just showing that he's adept at that. Pushing everybody back with the Monsoon, and he's fine. His team was there to back him up. Lasagna putting the Paranoia down to deny the vision. And there aren't a lot of objectives left on the map for Somniac to take, so they have to continue to pressure, get these turrets that are left on the outskirts, get objectives. Dragonstock could be up for a while, but Steve Bakes Cookies are in an even worse spot because they need to farm and get deep vision in their own jungle, which could be risky against this team, especially since Nocturne can reinforce it any time.
That's true. It's going to be dangerous. We did just see the gold scoreboard on the bottom of the screen. Of this 3,000 to 4,000 gold lead, it all rests on Morsu and Riddick's, both about 2,000 gold above their respective opponents. Carbonite still in the lead above his jungle opposition. You can see that right there. Carbonite above Lasagna. Morsu and Riddick's leading as their opponents. Everyone else pretty equal otherwise. So the guys we were talking about before, they're still putting in great performances.
We saw Morsu have an amazing performance in Game 2. Game 3, 2K gold lead here. Dominates the top lane. He doesn't just play passive to go even.
No,
he looks to crush it.
Yes, he does.
And he's done that in Game 2 where they won. And now in Game 3 where Somniac has a lead again. Game 1, he was on a passive top lane. Just
he's in the losing matchup and
around.
did so.
Yeah. Oh, it did not work for him, and it didn't suit his playstyle. And I like that they aren't afraid to pick champions that are outside the quote-unquote meta.
Sure.
Like Janna, but it suits their playstyle. Play what you're good at and what your team can synergize with.
Yeah.
And Somniac, when you play to your strength shows.
They just support their top laner and say, yeah, you, like, Riddick's and Morsu go freaking kill people. Lasagna's going to get some defensive items fairly early on for the team. And those guys are going to be big threats. I like it. I haven't seen a team play like this before.
And you made it a point earlier where BB seems like a supporting role in that mid lane.
He is.
When he played the Syndra, it was a disaster.
Yeah.
Not really helping the team too much, just being a target that gets picked off. Now as an Orianna, stay in the back line, support people with shields and displacement. Working to this team's strength where they have star players and they just enhance their combat capabilities.
These guys looking good. Carbonite, unfortunately, not finding anything since the early game on Lee Sin. He's starting to fall off a little bit. The damage not quite working. Going towards, I believe, a Last Whisper next, though. A pickaxe got picked up by Carbonite. He's going back towards the playmaking style if he can make it happen. Of course, Matroko 2-0-2 still holding on. We'll see what he can do. Somniac staying up late. Gonna put the Draven back on the split push. Wait around for a little bit. Dragon's up in a minute. Baron's not really contested just yet. We'll see where the next big moves come from.
Get more stacks. Go for the 3. Get 3 in the air.
He's a good juggler, man.
Yeah. Dang.
Better than Syndra sometimes.
Morsu looking for blood. What?
I just realized something. Part of the reason why Trinity Force is so good on Aurelia, especially with the Trinity Force changes. Right, so you have the proc for Blade Surge to one-shot it, but then you've just killed a minion, granting 60 bonus move speed, so you can chase them off the queue.
Yes.
So there's two of the different passes of Trinity Force work really well with Blade Surge.
When the new Trinity Force was just released, I thought Aurelia was going to come back because of that, and also the fact that you said it does even more damage than it did previously. Allows your Blade Surge to kill the target. You get the bonus movement speed. And we actually saw, I was watching, I think it was Voyboy's stream, back when he did top lane, would Q to a caster minion right next to the person and just chase them down with his 10 style. And then if they got reinforced and he was chasing them, he'd just be like, oh, Q back to the minion wave and I'm out of there.
Yeah. Same thing for Morso here. We saw him dive in the middle of a team fight a little while ago, 5 minutes ago. Q to a caster minion, walked forwards, just Q back to a caster minion, got out. It was a great play. Dragon going down rather quickly. Smite comes through. Carbonite in the front lines. Nocturne goes off. Will they get the shockwave that they need? Looks like not just yet. Their Carbonite going to have Lasagna very low as well. Morso in the back line is going to find one. He's going to now go towards Matroku. Getting kicked around though. Carbonite trying to make the play. Can he pick off Morsu? Ah, yes he will. Shutdown comes across now on the back lines. Lasagna is low. The Bloblet split apart though. Easy pickups here for Riddick's. Going to pick that one up. 436 for that kill. 10-8. Overall a 2-for-1 battle. Insomniac happy to keep going.
I don't think the shockwave hit anybody again, but they want blood here, and Matroko.
Yeah, he's not going to win that fight. It's a Draven. Another kill picked up. But here comes Carbonite in the back lines. Good flash by Masterwork. Yarrow, not in a good spot. Picked up. Double kill here for Ritix. Can he keep going? Dissonance not going to come off in time. Red buff slow. Shields up in 2 seconds. Can he get to a minion? Can he get to a trinket ward? Ritix no longer in range. He's all right.
He still had flash. He wasn't going to give up a kill. Wow.
Ritix, pretty big, dude. Didn't use his Red Elixir all fight, by the way. I make that mistake a lot.
That's true. That's true.
That was unfortunate.
Oh, they're going to go straight for Baron here. Carbonite is still up. Once again, do they have the damage to take it out? Oh.
All right, the guys are low. They could look for a fight, but no one's around. Baron lower on health. Carbonite might try, won't get there in time. It was close, though. Lasagna picking up the Baron for his team. 12-8, 8,000 gold. Insomniac in the round of 10 had a big comeback lead from behind against Pentasports. Here in this best of 3, they came from behind. They lost game 1 and looking to make the series their comeback win. You guys keeping it interesting.
Oh yeah. I think we've had so far in Europe all the games in the round of 8 going to a no.
It was
2-0, yes.
Departed.
That's right. But they've all been interesting.
Oh yes, they have.
Cloud9 Eclipse. I keep doing that. I'm like, Tempest Eclipse?
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Yeah, Eclipse, E stands for Europe. That's how I remember it.
That was my way of doing it.
So Cloud9 Eclipse ending up going 2-0, losing to Departed.
They're going to face these guys. Whoever wins here versus Departed in the semifinals.
It's going to be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Especially since both of these teams have very different styles that you might not be used to.
True.
And if you face against, like, let's just say you play against Insomniac, who do you shut down? Do you go bottom? Do you go from Morsu? Does your jungler have to stretch himself thin and go both top and bottom? And that was actually quite hypnotizing to watch.
That's fun.
That was.
It's such a waste of mana.
Yasuo, was that you?
No, that would take 2 seconds for Yasuo. That required many more button presses for Aurelia. A little bit flashier.
Wow, so you go Spirit Visage into Guardian Angel. The Guardian Angel, yes.
Yeah. Visage, I see it. A lot of healing potential there for Aurelia, and the CDR is actually useful as well. CDR is a damage stat for Aurelia. Yep. Getting hit 10 style up more than once in a fight, more than twice in a fight, actually a very big deal. So I do like the choice of Visage. He seems to not have any problems getting peeled away anyway, so he doesn't need the Banshee.
Yeah. There's no big impact ability that's going to stop him, and Aurelia's passive is going to stop CC anyway.
Merc Trespass passive is enough tenacity.
Yeah. Doesn't need the Banshee's Veil. Just needs some magic resist. And like you said, the healing from it, both from the Blade of the Rune King and the E10 style.
And his ulti.
That's true. And Transcendent Blades. This Aurelia is just so ready. Morsu, you got to kill him twice now when you've had problems killing him once.
And he's got an Orianna Janna on his team. A lot of things make this hard.
How's Ascension came out. We do see Riddick's coming in from the side here.
Onto a ward.
Insomniac wants to go.
They are looking aggressive. They are certainly the team in the lead. They've got Baron buff. They've got a blue buff still. Or blue buff, what? Sorry. Blue elixir on Yarrow. Just pointing at random things right now. Ward speed coming down. Riddick's on the side. Carbonite's going to go in. Does not land the kick in a very good spot, but Masterwork going to pop the ult to keep the team alive. Nocturne ulti popped as well. Carbonite now taking a lot of damage. Will they go for that one? No, they go for the back lane here. Shockwave onto 2. Oh my god, 3 kills picked up so far. Steve, not in a good spot. Make that 4 kills in the top lane turret.
4 for nothing, and the health bars of our Insomniac are still very high. They're going to get this turret. They're going to get an inhibitor and possibly the game with these 40-second lockouts on most of Steve Bake's cookies.
They've got to wait for their next minion wave before these turrets have 150 less armor than they do right now. They're going to try to backdoor it all if they can. Morsu taking 2 turrets to the face right there. Turret number 1 goes down, 30-second lockout, 15 for Lulu. Ziggs bomb comes in. Turret number 2 going to go down. There they go. Insomniac looking for the Game 3 win in the quarterfinals. They're going to find it. Welcome to the semis.
And Steve Bake Cookies, they took them out, and Insomniac now has pretty much guaranteed spot in the top 6.
They got a real good shot.
They have a really good shot. I think there's only like one contingency.
Yeah.
One possible way that they couldn't make it. But I like that this almost unorthodox in this meta team composition makes it this far, and they didn't deviate from it. And actually, it was their strength when they played something that was different.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Top lane Aurelia, top lane Lee Sin, big performances there. Their AD carry Riddick's also gigantic, so very nicely played by these guys. And now, with tonight's games in our match history, let's check out the updated bracket. Thanks to their win, Insomniac advances to the semifinals where they face a departed team that has already knocked out the top squad in the series, Cloud9 Eclipse.
And remember, even though the LCS is dark next week, the Ninjas in Pajamas and Meet Your Makers will both take to the Rift for their quarterfinal matches. Next week, March 12th, starting at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 a.m.
Yeah, sorry, 7
p.m.
It was written badly.
Yeah.
11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. European time. Central European time.
7 p.m. Central European time,
yes.
11 a.m. Pacific.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
That's going to be Wednesday. Keep that in mind, guys. That's
March
6
12th.
days from now. There we go. We got it. We got it. We're good. And of course, tomorrow, the North American LCS kicks off their 3 days of Super Week action. Week 8 kicks off with Evil Geniuses taking on Cloud9, followed by Shifter and Coast, battling a Bjergsen-less team solo mid.
And after that, it's the Red Hot CLG taking on Dig, and Curse battling XDG and Team Coast versus Dignitas. And day 1 of Super Week kicks off on Friday at 9 p.m. Central European Time, noon Pacific.
And with that, it's time to say goodbye. But before I go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. Now for myself, Zyrene, and the rest of the live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. Good night. GG. And we'll miss you.